easy. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and round. I really love to watch them roll. No more riding on the merry-go-round. I just had to let them go. It's no secret one of my favourite artists is John Lennon, and this is one of his great songs, although not one of his huge hits. It was still pretty popular. He released it on the Double Fantasy album he did with Yoko Ono, but it was, this version I'm doing is actually an acoustic demo version, which I found on a CD that was actually released, I think, in 2004, of a bunch of acoustic demos and sort of outtakes of his. I'll put the link if I can find the link. It's not an easy CD to find, but I'll put a link below if I can find it for you. But it's simply called Acoustic, and it's got lots of great versions of John Lennon songs on it. This is one of them. It's a lot like the single that most people are familiar with, but there's a couple of main differences. One of which is the strumming. It's a much more kind of, it's almost a country bluegrass kind of strum. The other thing is there's a couple of changes that they made to the actual single version, which is this little funny bit in the verse. Doing what I'm doing. It comes in between the C and the F major 7 chord in the verse. There's a way you can put that in there in this acoustic demo version. I'm going to show you if you like to do that. And the other main difference is the change that comes just before the chorus. There's just a little, on the single version, there's a little bit of a half bar, I think, before it comes into the chorus. This is a much more honest, as you would expect, raw and straightforward version. We start with the chords. Now, I should mention the other main thing is that on this demo version, he's using a capo on the 2nd fret and playing all these chords. So it's going to sound 2 frets higher. We're doing it without the capo just because. So the chords that we're going to need are C, and I've put a diagram for every one of these chords on the chart as well, just to help you out, because one of the things that I do like about this version is that he slips in a couple of nice, interesting chords, especially towards the end, that make this song much more interesting. Now, the chords C, F major 7. Now, you can do an F major 7 like that. I tend to like to put my C bass on the bottom of my F major 7. Which is basically just doing this, moving your 3rd finger across to the A string 3rd fret and putting your pinky where your 3rd finger was. So you get this kind of bigger, fatter, fuller version. Same with the F chord. It's just an F major 7 over C, or an F over C if you play it normal F like that. Chord number 2. Chord number 3, when we get down to it in the bridge, there's a D minor, which is going to pose no problems for anyone. There's a G. There is an A minor. All of this stuff, quite easy. Second time around, we go through a D minor. We move it to a D minor 7. Then we move through a G again, a G7. And then we do a little run of chords. One is an A minor, next one is an A minor 7 over G, then an F, and you can do that F there like that, followed by an F7. I like to do the F bar chord because then it's easy to change to an F7 really simply by lifting that pinky finger off the D string. But you can do an F there and an F7 there. Then this little run of chords, on your chart it's marked out as 4 separate chords within the same bar, but what it essentially is a C with a bass line moving down. So you hit the bass note and then strum the chord. That's a C over B. Then you do an A minor 7, and then you do an A minor 7 with a G bass. So what it sounds like really is that C with the bass line going down through C, B, A, G, and then we land on the F, or an F major 7. That's about it for the chords until we get right down to the end of your chart. The second last line, there's an F over E, which basically just means, again, it's a good reason to do your F bar chord, because now you can just take that finger off and put an E bass on your F chord. Right at the end, he puts in an F minor 6, which is a really beautiful sounding chord. And then he rolls through a C major 7 onto a C add 9, which is that. You'll see those chords when we come to it. Download your chart. I'll take you through this all as we go. The strumming, we'll set it up in the intro because the intro is just C to F major 7. So it's just down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down. And when you do the downstrokes, or in the first downstrokes at least, just do a very, very short strum, even one string. So you're going. Right, so short strum, short strum, short strum, short strum. Down, up, short strum, down, up, short strum, down, up, short strum, down, up, short strum. Now, there's a hammer-on that he plays on the C. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So on the fourth beat, just before you change to the F, you hammer on that open D string back to the second fret. So it's like this. We go into the verse, right? So that strumming takes you pretty much all the way through it. People say I'm crazy. I will say, here I go again, diverging, but if you think that that sounds too straightforward, the actual single, and one of the little changes that they made, they put this interesting sounding piano line in there, in the C, round about where that hammer-on goes. Instead, they're going. Now, a little bit tricky on guitar to play while still doing the chords, but you can make it happen. You can make it work by doing this. And then you land on that F major 7 over C that I showed you before. And that gives you the C at the end of that line. But it also lets you land on the F, which is the chord that's supposed to be underneath that. So again, one more time. I haven't put this in your tab, but if you want to do it, this is how you do it. Doing what I'm doing. And if you don't want to do that, then you're just going, people say I'm crazy. Doing what I'm doing. The bridge. So we go F, and now we're changing F major 7 to a D minor, and then a G for a bar. So it's, when I say that I'm okay, well, look at me kind of strange. Do it again. Surely you're not happy now, you no longer play the game. Stay on the G for another bar, then you hit the repeat sign, go back to the beginning of another verse. People say I'm crazy, I'm dreaming my life away. Same deal, you go through that chorus, through the bridge, then we move into the chorus, which is where I like to move into the F bar chord because it changes to an F major chord instead of an F major 7. So we go F, I'm just G, sitting here watching the wheels go round, C, down to A minor. Very straightforward chord progression. I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and round. I really love to watch them roll. Hold the D minor into the next bar, and then on beat 3 of the next bar you change to a D minor 7. Onto G, no more riding, down to a G7, on the merry-go-round. Sorry about the singing. A minor, down to an A minor 7, F to an F7, I just had to let it go. Here's where we do this little run of chords. We go C, down to B, bass, down to A minor 7 bass, down to G bass, and lead with that bass note is what I'm kind of trying to say when I say bass all the time. You go C, B, A minor, G, and the timing is like this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So on the 4 and is when you hit the G, and then you land on the F major, but you want to get it to an F major 7 at least in the next bar, because you hold that for 2 bars. So you go on to verse 3. Same again, through the verse the same way. Then we move into another bridge and into another chorus. Now, the only difference here with this last chorus is we do these chords, and I'll take it from the second last line of your chart. It goes, I'm just sitting here watching the wheels go round and round. Now we go to that F over E. I really love to watch you roll. No more riding on the merry-go-round. F to F7, I just had to let it go. Now we go down on beat 3 of this bar, you go down to the C over B, then the A minor 7 in the next bar. On beat 3 of that bar, you go to an A minor 7 over G, so it's the same run down, but they are each 2 beats on each chord instead of 1 beat on each chord. And then we go to an F. Then we move to our F minor 6. Have to let it. And then we step very slowly, start slowing down, go through a C major 7, which changes then to a C add 9 for the very last chord. So that last line, that's the end of it. It's a really, really beautiful song. Like I said, you can put those little extra bits in if you want to. You can change the strumming up a little bit so it's a bit more like the single version. But this demo version, it really appeals to me. I like the simplicity of it and the honesty of it. It's very, very John Lennon. And it's also a fantastic song, which is also very, very John Lennon. So thank you for watching. I hope that was enjoyable for you. If it was, please like and subscribe and share and comment and do all those things. I really appreciate all the interaction that people give me on the channel. It keeps me going, and I'll see you here again next time.